So
So
I don't know.
Go ahead.
No.
My bad. My bad.
No. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say just to keep it moving because I know you're under the clock. It felt like a filler episode. It still gave us what we needed. Rest in peace to Sasha. That's cool. They dropped the surprise with Annie at the end. I'm not surprised at Armin. Armin's been kind of feeling that way ever since he took out the port and looked down, came out the colossal Titan, and started looking at, having that mindset of, is this really what we have to do? Is this what it was like for Berto? So I think he is starting to question Aaron's path, and we still don't really know all about Zeke's plan. We do know that Zeke has been, I guess Zeke in the last years that he will have the Beast Titan before he dies. He's trying to finally free his people. I still think it's tied to the fact that he snitched out his parents when they were doing the revolution. So I think he's been trying to redeem himself from that. It's funky. I do like that I mean the new characters, the tall woman and everything that was cooking and everything else. That's pretty interesting. I know they still don't trust them. They're really the only issue I really had was it didn't feel like a seamless transition from 3 years ago to where they are now, to where they were after the events of what happened in Marley. So, but other than that, really good episode.
It really was. Let's check out this for you real quick. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
生き残るため敵を滅ぼす。それが正しい選択なのか、是非を知る者はいない。次回、正論。
Sound argument, and this is exactly what I thought they were gonna do.
The 2 episodes. Yep.
Yeah, and so okay, so my unfiltered thoughts about this episode. This was the weakest episode of the season for me.
Yep.
This episode felt like a filler, and I think that it was rushed. To me, it felt like a rushed, wasted episode. Because to your point, they could have, in my opinion, what they could have done is they could have went from the moment that Aaron was on the beach, looking out, started from right there.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I thought they were going to do. Yep.
Found some kind of way of getting us to the point where we're like, okay, 1 year after that, they're making a move. They're cooking up this plan to intercept the ship. They're going to grab it. And then we'll go and transition to who this chick Yelena is, who the black dude is, and then moved on. But instead, they went just like they skipped a year, went to 3 years, right to Yelena's situation. And then she just is going through with it. We find out she's connected with Zeke and wanted to follow the path that he's doing. And then they did this terrible transition where you couldn't differentiate between what was the past and what was present day,
right?
Outside of being at the gravesite,
and you still didn't know how Niccolo got there. Niccolo showed up as a hostage on the bay on the port when they came in. So it's like, how did Niccolo get there? What, like, it's still gaps. Like there's a whole 1 year gap, and either they're holding that out for, like they usually do, or they just said, bump it and skip it. Like, but that doesn't, it's not AOT method though.
It's not. So it's not. And it's kind of like with Nikolai, I mean, they could have been like, okay, Sasha during these years, in addition to Connie, she started to kind of develop a love interest of somebody that cooks, which would make sense. That's her MO, like her developing a love for food in correlation to a man. I get it. Cool. Yeah. But it's kind of like they did a disservice to him as a character because I couldn't emote because I didn't see them have any kind of emotional reaction to each other either. And
right, you couldn't relate to.
Yeah, whether I knew anything from the manga or not, like you could have taken a little bit more time to see what that interaction really looked like and what was the progression of it. And instead, this episode just felt really rushed and inconsistent. Because even with any scene with Aaron in this, I was kind of just like, I was confused because the last time we saw Aaron, he was really emotionally compromised. He didn't even show up to the Guy Stern funeral. He was sitting there just bathing in water this whole entire time, which didn't make any sense. So
I think well, my thought, now that you bring that up, my thought is that's the moment where Aaron decides to go rogue, you know, because I think that's so. Well, I take that back. Like I said, there's no real seamless transition. So my thought is, well, is this Aaron deciding to go rogue, or is this Aaron after Sasha's death? Because you can't tell. So is this the moment after the discussion he had with Armin and Mikasa at the gun range? Is this where he decides you got to fight, you got to fight, you got to fight? Is this where he's deciding to go to Marley undercover, or is this after Sasha's thing and he's just saying the only way we win this is to fight, which means, to activate, now that we've heard the term, the rumbling, which is what we've discussed before about him just releasing all the Titans across the within the walls, within the three walls, and just let them, trample across the entire earth.
One thing that I thought about that though, with the rumbling, hypothetically speaking, if all the walls came down, I feel like everything would still be destroyed anyway. Because the foundations of where the linings of the walls are, there's still the other side of the wall is still encampments there. There's still houses and stuff. So like if all of them, even if they came out slowly one by one, the debris will cause more damage either way.
So I kind of leave that to plot, because I was thinking that too. If he just released the Titans in the walls, the only place that probably wouldn't get wrecked is the main palace area within the core, because all of the others are going to spread out. Now, that's possible, or Aaron might change it and have them in a way. But my thing is, if all of them are colossal Titans in there, you already know it's going to shake the earth. But if they're all like the colossal Titan, that's a lot of intense heat that's coming off of them like the colossal Titan. So nothing is going to survive. It's either going to be crushed to death, or it's going to be vaporized by that intense steam. So it's going to be, it would literally be a global massacre, and I think that's probably what Aaron's going to eventually try to do. I think Aaron wants to get rid of all the Titans, and I think in order for him to do that, he feels he has to basically wipe the planet anew and start fresh. So
it's just weird. I feel like this is the first episode. I feel like if somebody asked me, "Yo, the next AOT, did you see it? Should I watch it immediately and get spoiled?" I was like, I would tell them there's nothing to be spoiled from. I didn't really learn anything new. I got some confirmed information, but it doesn't add anything to the narrative. And I mean, to your point about the whole Aaron side, I took it that this was the after effect from everything, just based on Aaron's hair length. I took it that this was them when at the point that he's getting washed off is when he's about to really actually go rogue. Like now it's kind of like, you know what? I did what I did. They feel their way about it. What I did, I know what I did was right, but whatever, cool. Now, the only thing that was interesting to me is what is Zeke's end game? What is Yelena's end game? I find it hard to believe, really do, that Zeke wouldn't have ulterior motives. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't trust. Oh snap. I got a little man coming in here.
Yeah.
I don't trust. Hey, buddy.
Oh, yeah. I don't trust. Oh, say hi to the people.
Come here, buddy. Okay.
Oh, what's up, buddy? Hi.
He don't even hear you.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
Yo, hey, Ty got something to tell you, Alicia, later.
It's
He
totally
said it's his fault. He said it's totally his fault.
Totally my yeah. Yeah. So you're absolutely right, Batman. You are a superhero. We trust you. Save Gotham. but
Yo,
like
your mama locked you in here, David.
But yeah, just so we don't hold you up. Like I agree with you. I don't completely trust Zeke, but I think in the end it won't. I think Aaron is still going to end up being the one to take out if they can, because he's gonna go completely rogue, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we'll be back next week, you guys, for a lot more discussion. If I get this posted up, which I doubt it now at this point. Hopefully you guys do enjoy your Super Bowl and be safe at home, and we'll be back next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Later, guys.